Welcome to Awakening Souls,
a spiritual podcast for the mystics, magical thinkers, sensitives, and spiritual seekers.
We are here to explore all things spiritual, from navigating your awakening, developing your psychic gifts, and so much more.
Together, with our combined experiences, we hope to help guide you on your path to reconnecting with your soul and the beautiful life that comes after.
So come join us on the magical journey of exploring your
Awakening Souls. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Awakening Souls. It's Candace here with Jennifer and Rose. I don't want to say if you are new here, welcome. We appreciate you tuning in today. And I really hope that you learn something new, something that inspires you, or take away something from this episode. And if you have been here before, a big thank you to you for continuing to come back and listen to us. I have gotten the opportunity to speak with a few of you over the last week or so and work with you. And I am just honored to be a part of your healing journey and so thankful for all the kind words that you guys had to say about the podcast and how much you're learning from it. All right. So today we are moving into talking about starseeds. Yeah. I'm fascinated by this subject. There is so much information out there about starseeds. And it can be a little overwhelming when you're diving into it because there are so many different types of beings out there that you can learn about. So today our focus isn't going to be necessarily on the different types of starseed beings, but we're going to focus more on how do you know that you're a starseed and how can you use that to your benefit in your healing journey or in helping others heal. All right, so let's get into it. So let's start with the obvious question. What is a starseed?
A starseed is a person that is currently incarnated on Earth, but before their Earth incarnation, they have had experiences on other planets. So your soul has had many, many different lifetimes. And a starseed is just a person that's had lifetimes in other places before they came here.
Mm-hmm.
And the other places that they've been have helped to shape who they are. So it's helped them to have knowledge and learn things, have other kinds of experiences, and they can bring in the energy of their former experiences here onto the earth plane.
Yes. That's exactly what I believe a starseed is. I believe that starseeds have had their first original incarnation as a soul in a different planetary system or in different dimensions. And they have lived probably many lifetimes in other dimensions or other planetary systems and have now incarnated on Earth to help the Earth's consciousness expand and grow and to be of service to humanity, to help awaken humanity so that their consciousness can expand and grow as well.
And another thing I think to keep in mind is if you are really attracted to metaphysical types of things, if you love listening to this podcast, there's a really good chance that you're probably a starseed and have some origins in other planets, other dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
What I think is really neat is that Candace remembers one of these lives. She had a dream about one of them being on a different planet.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that
it
is
was a past life dream.
You know what? I was while doing some research because I know a lot about starseeds. I believe that I am one and I feel a connection with the stars. I think that's one key point here is if you look up into the stars and you feel this longingness or this mystery that you just I feel like this expansion in my heart and this, I just love the universe and I love the stars. And there's always this a cluster of stars that I always feel very pulled to, which is Orion's.
Okay. I have no idea what mine is.
Okay.
But it's the three stars. The three
That's
stars.
the Orion's belt.
You're kidding. No. I look at it every night.
I remember as a child, I used to stare when I first learned about stars and they were telling us about Orion's belt. That was one of the first things that I learned. I would look up in the sky every night and wish upon those stars.
Oh,
Yes.
My brain is reeling right now. Like, did we come from the same planet? Are we like from the same system, solar system or planetary system or something?
I'm sure that we are. We have, okay, we're going to go a little bit
Okay,
deeper.
sorry.
So, kind of going before you were a star person, you come from one source consciousness. You can call this God, you can call it an energy, you can call it whatever the heck you want to call it. But we are one source of energy, one source of consciousness. And at one time, we were only that one source. That source has split into fragment pieces to have experiences in different ways of living in different planetary systems and different dimensions. It's gathering information. So we are, as a soul, have always been one. And now we are fragmented pieces of one soul having these multitude of different experiences. And a lot of times we feel very comfortable with a certain cluster of those fragmented pieces, your soul group or your soul family. And you will often reincarnate in other lifetimes and on other planetary systems with that group of souls. So yes, my dear, we have reincarnated together probably since
Several
the
times.
beginning of time.
I mean, we've known that, but to actually think about it in that way of looking at the stars and thinking, oh my God, we both are longing for that same star system, or we both stare at it all the time, and maybe we really came from that together. It's just neat to think of.
Yeah.
Just to add to that, my planet of origin is Mintakan, which is on Orion's belt.
No wonder
See?
we're all together.
That is the dream that Jennifer is talking about. I had a dream that I was on a water planet as a mer person, and I was
That's
looking at
Mintakan.
the 3 moons that were there and admiring the sky and the colors of the water.
Yeah.
That is how do you say that? A Mintakan or Mintakan?
Mintakan is how I say it, but I don't
Mintakan?
know.
I'm gonna
I don't
look
know if
that
that's
up now.
correct.
Yes.
And the name of the planet is different. It's a Arcturus or something like that.
Are you kidding me?
Let me look it up.
Arcturus?
I actually did not know that.
Okay. Those who are Mintakan have spent their formative incarnations in Mintaka, which is a star located in the star system of the Orion constellation. It is the 3rd star in Orion's belt, and their home planet is called Arturvia.
Okay, so which one would that be? This one? The 3rd star?
It's the star on the far right.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I pointed at.
Ah, that's funny.
What's the one in the middle? Do you know?
They don't have that here. And no, I don't know.
You could just bring forth that information for me. That'd be great.
I'm still shook about this whole thing. Like this whole planetary, like the star.
We've talked about this before.
But I didn't know that's what it was.
Ashley had said a long time ago that you will have markings on your body that are kind of like a blueprint of where you come from. And I have that 3-star system. Almost every single cluster of freckles or moles on my body are in that 3 cluster system, and they look exactly like Orion's belt.
Not mine.
I've got it on my neck, I've got it on my leg, and I've got it on my arms all over. And there's one that's always the biggest, and it's the one in the middle.
Oh.
In every single personal information. Now people are going to be looking at my moles.
No, we won't be. That's not getting out there.
I'm sure people are wondering, is everybody a starseed then? Because if this is since the beginning of time, you know, that we've all been incarnating, then we've all probably spent a lot of time on other planets. And the answer is, if you're listening to this episode, like Rose said, you most likely have, if you feel drawn to this work, if you feel drawn to the stars, if you feel this almost this longingness or this missing of home, this homesickness, and you don't really understand why you feel homesick, because maybe you already are home, then that is a key point that you are probably a starseed. Now, not everybody is a starseed, according to some of the research that I've done or some of the other channelers that I've listened to. And not everybody incarnated at the same time in the beginning of time, right? We were pieces of this giant consciousness. Some, came to have experiences. Some went back home to the consciousness, and the new fragments of that piece went to have experiences. So who knows really how long we have been around and incarnating, but some of these fragmented pieces of that consciousness came straight to Earth. They didn't go experience other planets or other dimensions. They came straight to Earth. So they would be called Earth souls. They originated here on Earth. That was their first incarnation, and they continue to incarnate on Earth. And they don't consider those to be star seeds because they're originally from Earth. I would argue that
Right.
they still are a star seed.
Yeah.
Now, you as a star person, we'll call you, if you've had all these different incarnations, you have gathered information and gifts from all of these other planets and dimensions that you carry within your DNA, within your body, within your memory. So you come here to planet Earth and you have all of this extraterrestrial DNA or gifts that you get to share with the Earth. Now, Earth people or Earth stars still have the same DNA. Our bodies are made of the Earth. So we all come from the same material. So if you're a Earth star person, then you still have all of that consciousness and DNA within your body, but it isn't activated because of where your origins come from.
Oh, well, and it's interesting. I did a quick channel this morning on starseed information and just asked what did they want me to share or wanted us to share with everybody. And they said that you want to be careful when you're going into all the different star groups and not think of it as a hierarchy. It isn't better to have incarnated first in this star planet or this one or that one. And as Candace was saying, we're all fragments of the same. And that was the message that came through, that no matter where your original incarnation was, you have something very important to bring. And it isn't more important or less than important than any other group. And the other thing that they said that I thought was really interesting is that, whatever your starseed origins are, you're influenced by that experience, and that makes you as part of who you are. But remember, all starseed groups have light and dark. So just because, Mintakan is my planet of origin, which is just a lot about love and a lot about peace and that kind of energy, which of course I love. A lot of problems with people that are Mintakan is they have terrible times with boundaries. So it's like there's positive and negative or different aspects that can be strengths or weaknesses in all groups. And so it's like, don't put yourself in a hierarchy. Don't judge one to be better than the other. All have important things to bring in and lessons to learn.
There are hundreds, maybe even thousands of different species out there of starseed beings or whatever. We are on Earth a combination of every single one. All have this ability to access all of this information within us because of where we come from as one original source. So as Rose is saying, there are differences in kind of the characteristics of each of these star people. And there's a main group that comes to work with us or that has been working with us since the beginning of time. Nantucket is definitely one of them. Palladian is a big one. I know in my star chart or in my astrology chart that I have a lot of Palladian origins in there. Then we have reptilian, and that's been seen as something very negative. But from my experience of living through past lives as a reptilian, there can be good races of reptilians as well as bad races. And I think you can have that with any race. There's also the Orion group. There's the Sirians, Andromedan, and Lyran. Those are kind of the main groups that we know of and that we've heard of or that have been here and probably are still coming here to help with the consciousness of humanity. And there's a lot of information out there that you can find if you feel drawn to maybe one race or another. And oftentimes when you hear like, oh, Palladian, you just go, that feels like me. I don't even know what Palladian is, but that feels like me. So I would encourage you to do some research and see what characteristics feel like they fit you. Now, I went and took a Starseed quiz online. There's a whole bunch of quizzes that will tell you based on certain things that you like and kind of how you feel and the characteristics that you portray, what star origin you're from. Now, when I took this quiz, I did not get Nantucket at all on any of these quizzes. And that's okay. I know that DNA is within me. I know that I've had an incarnation there, but my roots are definitely in Palladians. That is where my strongest connection is. And that's often who I find myself channeling with. And when I'm doing healing work, those are the ones that come forward the most for me. How about you guys?
I took the test too. I got Palladian as well. But while taking the test, the questions, they all like matched me. Like it was so hard to pick the right one. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They
Yeah,
give
so
you
like
like examples of, yeah. Tell us.
well, it's a multiple choice, of course, and you read all 5 different options and you can see all 5 of those personality characteristics within yourself. And you're like,
Yeah.
well,
Which
which
one?
one do I pick? And
Yeah.
you can't pick the strongest because like there's like 3 or 4 that
Yeah.
definitely resonate with who you are. And of course, if
Right.
you've been in multiple star systems,
That's gonna
you've
be
picked
why,
up
yes.
multiple personality
Yeah.
characteristics from those different places.
Right.
Yep. But I read that you feel drawn to one specific one early on, but as you awaken, and the more that you awaken, you're unlocking all of these different memories and DNA, starseed DNA within your system. And you know, Rose, you've been awakened a million times and you've come very far in your evolution as far as awakening goes. So you've unlocked all of this information within your body. That's why
Right.
taking the quiz now for you, you're like, oh, all of these things I
Yeah.
feel so drawn to.
Okay.
Absolutely. Well, and another way you can find out your starseed origins is through astrology. And had an astrology reading done, and 3 different star groups came in as Montakan was one of them, but Palladian and Arcturian also showed up in my astrology. So I've got, history there. I had another reading, and Blueprint Deliverer came up as another starseed that is influencing me. So I've got all kinds, which I think is just so much fun. It's like I love being connected to so many different amazing places.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like your ancestry DNA, but with the star system and
Right.
all the extraterrestrial planets.
What's the significance of starseeds?
I actually did a channel really early on before I really started getting into this work. And I asked why we were here, if we were starseeds, why we were here. And the information I got was we were definitely here to raise the consciousness of the planet. And I always like to know even more. I like to go layer deeper. I'm like, well, tell me why we're here to raise the consciousness of the planet. Why is that important? And they kept giving me these images of being very much connected to every star system, every dimension, every other galaxy, no matter how many light years away that it really is, that we all have this connection with one another. And when one planet has a lower vibration or is in need of help, which Earth was, then we affect the vibration and the health of all of the planets and all of the star systems and all of the galaxies. And I said, okay, what's so important about Earth right now? Why are we so special? And they said, because you're at a critical moment right now. And they wouldn't tell me what, but they showed me this image of just absolute blackness, of nothing happening with Earth. And in my interpretation of that, it meant that Earth would one day no longer exist. And they said this would be devastation to all of the planetary systems if Earth did not exist. So I can't completely comprehend or tell you why they believe that Earth is so important, but we are all connected. They see us as brothers and sisters, and our planet does have a profound effect on the other planets and the other star systems in the galaxies. And so we are very important. And there are many other races and species of starseed beings or star people who are coming in to really help support us as humanity and to serve us and to raise our consciousness. I have heard through other resources that that future Earth has already gone down this path of destruction, and that in order for them to create a new timeline for Earth, there has to be this raising of this consciousness so that we don't meet that same fate, which I felt went along very much with the channel that I did years ago. And I just found out that information probably a couple months ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I had another reading done a while back, couple years, and it was the same Akashic record reader, and she did a spirit guide reading where she found information about the spirit guides that were working with me at that time. And one of the things she found out is the place of origin of each of my spirit guides.
Oh,
Cool.
So each of the spirit guides that are working with me, most of them come from all of the different starseed places that I've got origins in, which I think is
That's neat.
fascinating.
Yeah.
So like my guide number 1 is from Polaris, and his purpose in helping me is helping me with consistency and dependability, because that's an aspect of that race, which I
Oh.
think is interesting. But I've got a blueprint deliverer, somebody that's Syrian, which is what I got on the quiz, which is
Nice.
funny. Yeah. I've got somebody from Mintakan. I've got somebody from Palladian. So I thought that was really interesting that spirit guides can actually have starseed origins as well. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I never even thought about our guides having origins.
Yeah. So I think I like that. That makes me
Yeah.
feel like, okay, somebody from my history, my home planet that knows that information is working with me and can help me to better bring that energy into the planet.
And that's the purpose of star seeds coming to Earth, is because we do offer something different, something unique. We all have these very special innate gifts within us because of all the different planets that we've incarnated on, or dimensions. So we have all of this goodness within us that we want to share with humanity that can help raise that consciousness, or help heal, or help be of service to humanity in whatever way that looks.
We're aliens to the aliens, you know. We are.
I think the aliens, though, are very much aware of all of the other
Yeah,
aliens.
they
So
are.
it's just like, it's like this, it's like the states and countries, right? They're just like, oh, they're just from Earth, it's just a couple light years away. And
Sometimes I feel like we're the zoo and they come and they observe us. Like, because I heard that they actually just come just to watch us. They love
Some
humanity.
do.
And
well, not
all of them, but the
all.
ones who are visiting are very curious and want to know more. And
Definitely curious. I mean, we said that there's duality everywhere. There's a negative and a positive, and we have both visiting Earth and people who've had experiences with both different kinds of energies. So I don't think that every alien that's coming to visit Earth has positive intentions, but we are very well protected by something called the Galactic Council, who is comprised of many different alien species who are here to help protect Earth, because we are important to them, and we are also still asleep, many of us, and unaware of all of this information, because we haven't had, one-on-one contact yet.
which may be why we're so intriguing
Well,
to them.
we're easily manipulated because we're still asleep, because we don't have all of this information yet. So the Galactic Council really is here to help protect us and help us continue to raise the consciousness and our awareness, so that way eventually we do have more physical contact in the future, and we'll be a part of this galactic system and not a solo system, asleep and unaware, which can be dangerous.
So what do you mean there has been no contact?
Well, there has not been mass contact.
Like governmental contact?
I believe that there's governmental contact. I definitely feel like there's evidence out there that tells you that there is governmental contact, but who the government is in contact with, is it positive beings? Is it negative beings? I don't really know. I'm not making a judgment call there. But I know that there are lots of people who have had abduction experiences or really positive experiences with extraterrestrials. I've definitely had experiences. I know Jennifer has had experiences. So I can say that my experiences have been positive, and I feel like having that information, I'm still learning. I'm still becoming more aware. I don't have all the information, but I will share with you what I can.
Yeah.
So what could you do if you wanted to get more information about your starseed origins? There's a couple of things you could do. One, you could just start reading and researching. You could take an internet quiz. That's always fun, though I wouldn't use that as the end all be all at all, because those are, not always 100% accurate. Another great way to connect with your starseed origins is through meditation. I know we always plug meditation almost every single week because it's such a wonderful tool. But if you set the intention that I would like to connect with my starseed origins or my starseed families, and go into a meditation and then just see what happens. Personally, in my meditation, I get visions, I get a lot of healing. I have one group that I work with that heals me almost every time I go visit with them, which is just lovely. I always feel better afterwards. Sometimes I've had meditations where I just experience being on the different planet and what that body felt like and what the environment was like and how we're connected in that place. So going into a meditation and setting that intention that I would like to know more about my starseed origins is a really good way to start digging in. And going within yourself is always the way you're going to get the most accurate information.
Absolutely. We always say that an awakening is not a one and done thing, that you're constantly reawakening and reawakening. And when you're doing that, you're also unlocking all of these innate, wonderful gifts that we have from all of these other planets that we've been on. And sometimes when you reawaken something that's within you, you find that there are these new characteristics or these new healing abilities, or even maybe even new psychic abilities that you have. And I know that recently I have unlocked many different Starseed DNA within me. And I found that I've been helping other people in sessions unlock their Starseed DNA. And I've had many beings come forward during these sessions and say, let me take over and let me help heal. So I'm constantly meeting new races, constantly seeing these beings come in and perform just incredible healing sessions alongside me.
That's neat.
Yeah, sometimes the treatment room is just full of beings. It feels super crowded in the very best of ways.
Yes.
That's neat.
I thought this was interesting and just to share with you guys that one of the reasons that Starseed people are here to help awaken humanity, they're here to help them awaken from trauma-based thinking, poverty consciousness, and being underneath authoritarian power.
Well, that is interesting that you bring that up, Candace. Last night, I went to sleep and I set the intention that I want to look at things while I'm dreaming to help me better regulate my emotions. Because I have difficulty regulating my emotions, especially when I'm around a lot of people. And I said, so please show me what's going on that's causing dysregulation. And so I had dream after dream after dream of authority telling me what to do.
Wow.
That's what it was. It was like once I was in an airport and they were making me, go through security and do all the things you had to do to get on a plane and how to be safe on the plane. And that was one. I had another one where I was at school and, and that was the authority. I had another dream about my parents, controlling my behaviors as a kid. So it was like the whole theme of all the dreams that I had was authority. And so that's been on my mind today. Okay, how can I get to a place of where I'm not feeling like I'm going to get in trouble every minute of the day.
Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead,
I'm a little
Jennifer.
excited because I had a dream last night about a school setting where a middle-aged woman walked in and wanted to sit down, and the professor was like, "You're late." And the woman was like, "But I want to be here." And the professor was like, this class is full of my guests, and you are not a guest. You are not invited." And she
Oh,
basically kicked this
ouch.
woman out for being so late. I'm like, that was so random. But I'm like, did we have
Yeah.
the same dream?
No, it wasn't like that, but, and it was like, it was a dream where I was the teacher.
Oh, you were the teacher.
I was the teacher, but I was also being very controlled by the
Yes.
principal and the expectations and the school board and the parents. I mean, as a
Oh.
teacher, everybody is trying to control you to act the way that's going to best serve their interests.
Yes.
I mean, think about just the world in general right now. We
Mhm.
are always operating out of fear. Are we going to get in trouble? Is this the correct way?
Mhm.
We are operating underneath fear. Our nervous system is always in fight or flight, and that's not normal to us. That's not how we're supposed to operate. So, having this galactic help is helping us reawaken the natural empowerment within us and the sovereignty that we have and take that back, because we shouldn't be underneath authoritarian power. We are free beings. We have free will. We were always meant to be free, and that's kind of the direction that we're moving in. And that's how the galactic beings and the purpose of having starseeds come to Earth is so that we can infiltrate the system from the inside out. Because we have free will, the star people can't come in and be like, "Hey, we need to change your ways," and force things to happen. It has to happen naturally. So our starseed people, our starseed volunteers said, "Hey, let me come down to Earth. Let me live this experience." And you go through this like forgetting where you don't remember where you come from, but innately inside your body, you know that there's something different about you and you're here to help serve humanity in a way. And you reawaken those gifts within you. And that is how we continue to awaken the humanity and to heal the consciousness of the planet and to heal the consciousness of everyone else. And I just got so excited and just rambled on, but I just think that it's so beautiful that we are moving outside of this fear-based thinking and moving into independence and sovereignty.
That's a big mental shift to make, though, because I've just been thinking about this morning, and every action I take, almost in the back of mind, I'm questioning: is somebody going to get angry at me for doing this? Am I going to get in trouble? Is this the wrong thing to do? And they're like, it's time for you to stop that constant thought. And that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's like we're on a mission, but we don't have all the directions.
Well, that's what our guides are for, because
Right.
they do have the
Right.
directions,
Yeah.
they have
Yep.
the knowledge, and we have access to all of this information within us. It's just, what are we ready to hear? What are we ready to unveil? And what things are we ready to unlock that are in the highest good for us and for humanity around us?
Mhm.
And also, if you feel that you're connected to this starseed information, but you're like, "I'm not doing metaphysical work," you are here also to help raise the consciousness of the planet or to heal in some sort of way. And there are lots of, I'll say, quote unquote, normal jobs where starseeds are hanging out and helping heal or help raise the consciousness, that it is a group effort and we have to be all around doing all the things, all the normal things, in order to really have the most power or have the most impact.
As I was reading through the different starseed groups, and I mean, I had one book that had, I think, 22 different groups. So there's lots of them out there, and I know there's way more than that. But one of the things that the author was talking about is some of the groups were very much into metaphysical, spiritual, those kinds of things. And some of the other groups were not at all. Like, some of the groups were very connected to the earth as a planet and is focusing on taking care of plants or animals or the environment. has no interest whatsoever in spiritual metaphysical matters, and then there were other plant groups that were like builders, and so they might be architects or builders in that way, and so they have no interest. They're very logical based. So I think that's a really good point, Candace, and that really brings me comfort to know that starseeds are doing all kinds of different things. And it's not like this is a religion and we have to convert everybody to the metaphysical starseed way of being.
Yep.
It's not our job. It's just an allowing for all the different ways that people can be here on this planet, and knowing that everything is important no matter what it looks like, and everything can help if it's done with the right energy behind it.
Mm. That's good. Okay. I know that that was a whole lot of information, and we were kind of all over the place. This subject just has so many layers to it, and there's so much that you can dive in and learn about. And I strongly encourage, if you feel called to do some research of your own and to dive into this information, find other resources that you can really learn from. We are not at all experts in the realm of starseed information. We are still learning this stuff and still unlocking it within us. But we enjoyed this conversation so much, and we hope that you did too. We hope you can take away something from this session today that opens up your consciousness, opens up your mind, or opens up your curiosity. And if you enjoyed the show, please share it with somebody that you know. It helps us get the word out about what we talk about and what we do, helps us raise the consciousness and help awaken. And you are being a contributor to that by helping us as well. So we appreciate you all for showing up so much, and we will see you next time. Bye.